Well, if you're local to our area, you know all about the Grove. If you're not from our area, you need to learn all about the Grove. It is an incredible community that is just southeast of Franklin. To best describe it, would say that it is a resort. It's a luxury gated community here, and it is full of luxury homes. So today we're going to take a look at 6045 Native Pony Trail, and it is incredible. My name is Sean Larson, real estate broker here in Middle Tennessee and the 38 Florida market. And sit back, this one's another awesome one. And again, this is 6045 Native Pony Trail in the Grove. The home is just over 7,700 square feet. You've got 6 bedrooms, 6 baths, 3 half baths. Is that just not awesome? I mean, look how pretty that design is. Got the perfect combination of painted brick and stone. And look at the landscaping. The sidewalk is just lined with hydrangeas. That is just beautiful. I'm going to show you this garage side too, because the number of design elements that go into these homes is just incredible. Right, you've got your paver driveway. And if you just look at this one segment of the home right here, look at all the design that went into that. Got the carriage type doors. Garage 3 is in stone. And that's true vision when people are designing that, to know what elements go together to build a single theme. That is just incredible. Look at that sidewalk lined with hydrangeas. Is that not beautiful? Just letting you take it all in. Got your balcony, iron railing. And like we often talk about in these homes, you know, it is just incredible the number of design elements it takes. And just look at this. Just on the front here, you've got the brick, the stone, the shutters, even the roof type. You know, we talk about there being different types of shingles. Then you have the standing seam metal. The door design. You know, larger glass is kind of the build trend right now. Darker window frames are popular. And even when it comes down to landscaping, you know, you have these pencil-like evergreens that just accentuate the home perfectly, but at the same time, they're not blocking the home. You know, you can go through some older communities and you can see where the landscaping just gets so overgrown, you know, it tends to start covering the home. And some of that can be prevented just by properly selecting the right plants. And this is a perfect example of that. Now the gardeners seeing this video are just raving about this landscaping. I mean, look, that is a perfect blend. And there is a talent to putting the right plant combination together. And they nailed it. Look at that stone, and that is genuine. That is most likely Tennessee limestone. So that is not going to be cultured stone. That's genuine stone on there. Got your stained ceiling. We're just inside the front door, and it is an event going on right now, so we're going to see some other people. But no problem at all. We're still going to take an excellent look at the home. So right inside, look at that. Got closed. Look at that. You've got your office. And this is cool too, where, you know, traditional design, that would be a wall. Solid wall, and then they put, you know, glass doors or something. Where current designs now are, you know, putting glass in the wall there. so that those panes are fixed, and then you've got the glass doors as well. Super, super design. You know, that it's not only a design element that looks good, but it also helps keep everything bright, because all the light that you have flooding in from the front door then comes right on into the office. So on the opposite side of the foyer, you've got your formal dining. Beautiful light fixture. Have your audio there in the ceiling. Look at all the light in that ceiling too. All that recessed, large ceiling fan. Also have your genuine stone fireplace with your floating shelves, coordinating base cabinets. That's just spectacular. Come into the primary suite, and you just pan left. Look at that custom design closet, glass fronted cabinets. And you know, we talk a lot about closets and how those are designed, and look at that custom build. You got your drawer stacks there, and everybody lives differently. So some people need a lot of half height, some people need a lot of full length, folded clothes shelves and shoes. Everybody's different, but it's always nice to see the custom built closets. Another minor detail, you have cold air returns for your HVAC system, which, you know, pull the air back so it can be heated or cooled. And look at that, custom covers for those. And while we're checking this out, I also usually like to mention the things like molding. Look at the size of the base molding there. Another tidbit too, that's for a central vacuum cleaner right there. You can just plug the hose in and your central vac is all ready to go. Got your vaulted ceiling with beams. And I tell you, that is the perfect light fixture for that. You know, sometimes when people are planning homes, it's tricky to get the right sized chandelier for a space. You know, style is always up to debate, but sizing is key. And that is sized perfectly for that vaulted ceiling. When we look at bedrooms, I also, you know, try to give you some guidance on the size. So that's a king bed. Those are oversized nightstands there. And look, there's still room there. Have all your custom drapes. I like the kind of more modern contemporary look for the firebox too. Have your bench. Wonderful way to use that space. Whether you can tell it as much in video or not, this is such a nice design element. Look at that. You have that curved wall there and the track for the drapes. Very well designed. Beautiful shades as well. And I know you probably said something about the pool right there through the window. We're getting there. You know, the good thing, I usually remind people about video. You know, the still pictures are incredible. Still pictures and photographs of homes are awesome. But video also kind of shows you the configuration, the layout, how everything connects. Look at that. Is that not incredible? kudos to the designer and builder on this. You know, to have the vision and have all the accessories coordinate. Got your plate glass mirrors all the way to the ceiling. They did a fabulous job putting those lighting fixtures within the mirror. Great selection of the hardware, cabinet design, sink shape, plumbing fixture. And it's nice too, if you look at that design, how they have the storage on the left combined with doors and drawers. Really, really custom design. That tub shape is perfect for that space. Plumbing comes out right above. That is super custom. Comes around to a walk-through shower. If you remember on the exterior, I'll get a shot of the windows here. On the front of the home that I was mentioning, the stone and standing seam roof, this is actually that space. Walk through, have all your jets, have your spray head, your rain head, custom bench with sprayer, body sprayers in the wall, and then it walks through to the other side. Perfect location for it too, you know, for the exterior design of the home, because a lot of times you want to design a certain feature into the home, but then you have to kind of coordinate what is going to be inside that design feature. So if you want a certain shape outside, you have to decide what's going to be inside. Have your exhaust fans, perfect location for those. Have your pocket door. And pocket doors are so cool. They save so much space. It's something that you plan ahead for in a build because the interior of the wall has to be built to accommodate them. But they save so much space. And prevents the space that's required for a door swing as well. Secondary shower. Have your bench, your sprayer. Audio in the ceiling. That's a spa in itself right there. More custom built closets. See, isn't that just beautiful? The glass fronted uppers. Love the organization of it. Have your shoe racks. Folded clothes storage, plenty of hanging, half height hanging, got your full height hang. Glass fronted cabinets. And lots of drawers. I tell you, drawers are so efficient for so much storage. And that doesn't matter if it's in a closet or a kitchen. A lot of times in kitchens, people think it's only cabinet doors. But I tell you, if you can incorporate a lot of drawers in there, they are so efficient. Another pocket door right here. Seeing that saves the space that you would normally need for a door swing. And that really comes in handy when you have several doors that might be in the same vicinity and the swings may interrupt each other. So we're back out to the main living space here. Perfect entertainment center. Look at that. It is set up today for entertaining, as you can hear in the background. But look how well it works. Have your refrigeration back there. The entire kitchen is set up for an event today, so you can see what a perfect use it is. Yeah, opens up. I like the brick accents as well. You know, sometimes it's nice to have what would kind of be considered an exterior material put in the interior. You know, whether it be brick or stone or what have you. Glass fronted cabinets. So it's kind of a nice pantry as well as a prep area. Lots of storage. See, we were just talking in the closet about how efficient drawers are, and look how many drawers are in this cabinet design. Look all the way across there. Super efficient. Got your pot filler, your hood. And you know, they designed it such that you also have windows right here as well. And that just keeps everything so bright. And you know, the light level has to do a lot with people's moods. So if you keep it nice and bright, it's just a cheery space. Beautiful hardware on all of those as well. It's all about those details. See, more design elements. See, it's that small stuff that just adds up and just contributes to the luxury level of a build. Beautiful vanity. Sink shape. Got the plumbing, wall mount. Now, it's nice too when you have a kind of a cool custom chandelier like that. You know, look at the pattern it puts on the wall. And so light has so much to do with design. And we've talked about that in some modern homes where the light direction and shadows, you know, they play a part in the overall impression a home makes. And a lot of that is intentional. You know, when the designers pick selections or even design, you know, at the architecture stage, you know, they install certain elements so the light reacts a certain way. Here you have your lockers. Goes out to your garages. Full utility room. Have your pet wash station. And just look at the cabinets in there. Look how incredible all that storage is. Have your washer dryer, your stainless sink. Pull down sprayer. Shiplap walls. All the way to the ceiling. And the decor is just spot on, isn't it? It's well balanced, just the right items are selected. Have your pet wash station there. And when we tour homes, you know we like to look at the garages too. Look at that incredible floor finish there. Have your tall doors. Insulated panels. Very nice. Have your central vacuum unit. If you're not familiar with a central vacuum unit, what it is, let me show you here. When they build the home, they put the white pipe throughout the walls of the home. And what it does is it creates a vacuum. This is actually the vacuum unit here, and it pulls all your dust and dirt to one location. So you just empty this one canister. And so early in the video, I showed you one of those plates in the wall. And so you have a vacuum handset with hose, and you simply plug it into those areas, and it sucks everything to this one location, and you have one canister to empty. Perfect entry room from the garage. Everybody can drop their coats, backpacks, sports gear. And look at that detail. See that roller door? Beautiful. And again, see all the glass in it? So even when it's closed, you know, the light is going to continue through the home. Again, perfectly sized lighting fixture. You know, small spaces are kind of easy to design lighting for, but once you get to larger spaces like that, you really have to know the proportions to ensure you're designing it well. So we're on the second level of the home. Just for reference, we are on the garage side of the home, if you remember from the early parts of the video. Recessed lighting, have your ceiling fan, have your audio in the ceiling. Beautiful colors. You got a lot of white, tall baseboards, light toned floor. Beautiful floor finishes. Great storage cabinets. You have a tower here. Look at the vanity design. Look how low it goes to maximize the space. That's beautiful. A little bit of a modern plumbing fixture. Glass shower. And sometimes we talk about whether full glass should go on a shower or a half wall. But if you notice, this one is a half wall and then you have glass above. In some areas, that is the way to go. Sometimes the niches or storage is put in the back side of that wall. So every case is a little bit different. This is just the perfect selection for this. Another note, see the shower valve is located here, and then you also have the sprayer and the head on this side. Perfect design. So often you find, and it's been tradition for decades, where the valve kind of always went under the sprayer head or the shower head. But this way allows you to turn on the water and let it start warming up without you getting hit by the cold water that's coming out of the shower head. It's that little stuff that all adds up. You also have a pocket door here. See, and the pocket door eliminates a door swing into the room or into the bathroom. Fantastic design. Wide double doors for the closet access. Just to kind of point it out, that's another one of the central vac panels. So you have those throughout the house. So you can vacuum anywhere just by using the hose and the handset. You don't have to bring along the entire vacuum cleaner with you. How cool is this? Look at that. Kind of has an urban look to it, doesn't it? I can imagine, you have that brick on the wall, kind of gives you a downtown studio vibe. Have your cable halogen lights up there, exposed ductwork. That's totally like a downtown studio vibe. I love it. Have all the craft room, ribbon supplies. Now see, I usually try to remind people, when you see tours of homes, you also have to keep in mind how you would use a particular home. So this room has so many options. Even though it's a wrapping and crafting and decorating type room, love the storage. Kudos to the storage system there. That's incredible. But you can use these rooms for anything you like. Just for reference on where we are, we're on the front of the home, and you remember it had that one balcony off the front, off the left side of the home. That's where we are. Love the feel of this room. Another detail too, just look at the ceiling there. See that accent? All of that contributes to a theme for a home. Have your full bath here. Love the contrast between the dark floor, white porcelain, have your dark vanity, white top and dark plumbing fixture. That is so cool. Get it closer so you can see that tile design. Is that not cool? Now see, back to the shower valves. See, here's a perfect example where the shower head and the valve make sense to go in alignment. Because you have easy access, you can turn on the water, the shower head doesn't spray you. So that and the glass, see, all that's a per case scenario. Love the size of that niche. It's the small things. Small glass shelf in there, in case you need to put a razor or something up there. And you can tell a lot about a home by those small things because you can see how the people envision the home, to what extent they have experience and they think of those things to kind of look ahead. Beautiful. And again, we're on the second level of the home. We just toured the secondary bedroom on the left. We're passing the staircase on our left now. We're heading toward the rear of the home. And look at this. Look at that media. Incredible. Perfect entertainment room. You have everything from the media, you have your game table. Look at that ceiling design. And again, perfect light fixture for it, overlooking the rear of the home. You know, sometimes in the bedrooms, I'll suggest either the size of bed, door size, or something like that, just so you can kind of gauge the size room. Even though you have an MLS sheet and it says the measurements, sometimes, you know, real world examples help out. So for this size room, if you try to imagine, you have the game table, 2 chairs, a sectional sofa, a pool table, and a shuffleboard. And look at all the space in between. And if anybody's ever played pool, you know you can't put a pool table in a small room because you need room to shoot. So just look at the size of that room. Is that not perfect? Perfect example of how to set up a room. You also have your sliders on the back side. Everything helps keep the room bright. Look at that room for chairs and a sofa overlooking the backyard right there. Look at that view. You know, one of the things when people come to Tennessee, they comment on, it's so green there and there's so much topography. Now they may be coming from somewhere that might be nearly flat. You know, maybe they're coming from Texas or something, and they comment frequently on the topography and how beautiful it is. And here it is right outside your rear window. Stunning. When entertainment happens, here you go. Got your built-in bar area. Perfect countertop for that too. You know, when you have bar type areas, you know, you can kind of go and live on the edge a little bit with design because it just kind of suits the purpose. And that countertop works perfectly for that dark stain they've got on there. Got your floating shelves for storage and decor. And all that just coordinates perfectly with that floor color. Also, perfect design for this type of space. You know, you've got this bath right off the game room. Perfect selections. Kudos to the designer and the builder on that. So we're back to the hallway. Turning on the hallway, we're actually going across the home at this point, just for your reference. Look at that. How well implemented is that? Love the shiplap. Have the audio in the ceiling, recessed lighting. Now, whether your family needs bunk beds all the time for an everyday thing, or if you have guests just coming to stay with you, that room, it not only looks good, but it's so efficient as well. Also has a dedicated bath. Kind of an off-white tile. Beautiful hardware on there, on the vanity. White countertop. Love the tub too. You know, not all tubs are created equal. That is for sure. And that is a nice deep tub. A lot of times you have really short metal ceramic coated ones, and they have their place as well. But I like seeing deep tubs being installed in the secondaries. Have your niche with glass plate for bottle storage and razors and soap. Have your sprayer, your shower head. Glass plate mirror. Got your cabinet stack or tower crown on it. Well appointed bathroom. That is beautiful. You know, sometimes people think if you're outfitting secondaries or bathrooms that won't be seen as much, you know, sometimes they want to kind of short the finishes. And that is not the case here. Secondary bedroom on the second level of the home. We also have the recessed lighting, audio in the ceiling. And see, these little things I keep mentioning, you know, they add up. You know, not all rooms and all homes have audio throughout the home. So that is a pretty major thing. Another thing I'll point out, we mentioned on the first level, you know, you have the large base molding. You know, a lot of times when people go up to the second level, they downshift the finish a little bit. So if you had one size base molding on the main level, they might go to a smaller size on the second level, just thinking it doesn't warrant it. Here they use the same size throughout, and that is spectacular. That's usually an indicator of a very custom build. Fantastic design right there of the half wall in glass. If you notice, no door. And you don't need one because look how deep the shower is, or how wide it is, depending how you want to look at it. Shower valve opposite the sprayer and head. Plate glass to the ceiling, double lighting fixtures. Makeup counter. Very, very nice. Circles around. You've got a barn door with full-length mirror on it. Beautiful transition from the tile to the wood as well. And see, the floor color just coordinates with everything they've selected. Secondary bedroom closet. Look at all the built-ins. Plenty of folded clothes storage. You have your hanging. Full length and half. More drawer stacks. Have your shoe rack. And all that's built on site. You know, that's not something that's brought in and they just bolt in. That is all custom built. Beautiful tile accent. from bench to ceiling. You know, sometimes when you have a light home and you have a lot of white or neutral tones, you want to introduce something that's a little bold. And you know, a shower accent wall is the perfect place to do that. Back out to the hallway. Straight across. And see, sometimes in a room you need a place for electronics. You know, sometimes it's a small media panel in a wall, and sometimes, you know, if you've got a lot of electronics in the home, whether it be media, security, and whatnot, you need a good place for that. And this is the perfect room right off the hallway on the second level. Another secondary, just looking at the floor, all the built-in. We're entering another secondary bedroom on the second level. Beautiful floor continues. Custom built-in closet. Got your drawer stack. And you know, when you go to building out closets, you know, drawers are, let me just say it, when it comes to drawers, they're kind of a costly thing. So when you see drawers built in anything, kitchen, closets, and what have you, that is a very custom item. More soft white tones, plate glass mirror. See, all these bathrooms have a really nice soft feel to them. Beautiful floor tile in the shower. Then you have the accent. Very pretty design. And they coordinate that with the niche as well. Perfect selection. And this secondary bedroom is on the front of the home. Got high ceilings, perfect size ceiling fan, have your audio and recessed lighting. Just give you a view from here. It is beautiful. Look at that. Again, everybody always comments on the beautiful views in Tennessee. And this home definitely has them, no matter where you're looking out of. So this is the secondary bedroom on the end of the hallway. We're passing secondary bedrooms along the way. We're heading toward the game room on the right, just so you can have your bearings. And we're back to the staircase. Okay, we've made it to the stage you've been waiting for, right? Everybody loves the pool shots. But look at this porch. Is this not incredible? More Tennessee limestone. Pan to the left here, you have your outdoor kitchen. Look at that table. Whether you want to use that as a bar or whether you're going to eat right there, that is absolutely fantastic. Got your grill, your exhaust hood, TV, recessed lighting. You just imagine these lights glowing at night. Because you remember that view I showed you from upstairs, right? Look at that. Is that not spectacular? Spiral staircase. They already have the lights on. Look at that. Can you imagine what that's going to look like this evening? Just that nice soft glow. You get that sunset going down. And I just can't brag on the landscaping enough. Look at that. We're on the back side of the home by the HVAC mechanicals, and look at the landscaping. Look how nice that is. Back side of the garage there, more Tennessee limestone. And that is just a beautiful stone. When you see that in person, it is just awesome. Look at that, pavers. Beautiful. Round pipe downspouts. And I know it's a small thing, but those small things add up to coordinate and make the overall look. So you can just listen to the water and it's inviting, isn't it? Plenty of lounge chair room, have your hot tub. And just for reference, see that curved wall? When we were in the primary suite and I mentioned it, that's the back side of it. Look how pretty that is from the outside. Perfectly contrasting dark window frames. That is spectacular. Have a shower, sprayer right there, shower head for getting out of the pool and spraying off. And you know, we tour a lot of homes and you see videos from those. And it's just interesting how different homes can have a different amount of what I might call eye candy. You know, it's just features that keep your eyes going, keeps your interest level. And just in this shot right here, look at that. You have the stained ceiling, you have the painted brick, the limestone, and it's just interesting to look at. And personally, that's what I tend to gravitate toward. I like things that keep my eye and brain interested. And every time you come around the corner, something else piques your interest. Plenty of covered space, plenty of open space. Got that Tennessee view right there. So a lot of times when people are moving to Tennessee, this is what they're looking for. They are looking for that view. Is that not an incredible rear elevation of a home? Look at that. Your upper balcony to the game room with the spiral staircase. Got the curved limestone wall there. That is incredible. Giving you another look at that front elevation. That is just a beautiful home. It's so well balanced in all the features. Everything was intentionally designed. The landscaping is spot on. That is just beautiful. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tour. There were so many incredible features in that home, you can't help but to like it. Again, this is 6045 Native Pony Trail, and that is down in the Grove community. And again, if you've not heard of the Grove, you definitely need to check that out. If I can answer any questions about the Grove, by all means, just let me know that as well. Again, my name is Sean Larson, real estate broker here in Middle Tennessee and the 30A Florida market, and I would love to help you out any way I can real estate related. Feel free to send me any questions about this particular home or anything real estate related. I hope you have a fantastic day.